mechanics, and welcome to my first ever Let's Build. I'm Fohammer419. So today we're going to be building this, the Micro All-Axis Gyro. Basically it's guaranteed to keep your vehicle upright, except if you forcefully barrel loop and end up upside down. Basically that one will be on you, but this is guaranteed to keep you straight upwards. So in order to not let too much time pass, let's begin. The items you're going to need logic-wise are 4 logic gates, 4 controllers, 4 sensors, block of your choice, you're going to need also bearings for each connection point, pipe bend, pipe straight, T-piece. I basically put block of my choice on both bars because you don't want to bounce back and forth too much when you're building this. So I shall get started. Of course, we start by putting the lift down. Now, because I don't want to mess this up like I did in previous builds, I'm going to put a block down first, then a straight, then remove the block. This will make it float in midair. You do want this to happen. Next, I'm going to use the pipe bend, since that's going to come into play later as well. Then another pipe bend. Then a pipe straight. And you're basically started, because you have to make sure that the output bar is facing up. Failure to do this would cause the build to go completely not right. So, bearing, and just to be fancy, I guess, we're gonna paint the bearings. This will come into play again. Ordinarily I don't want to do the bottom part first, but actually I'll remove this. Let's just start with the main course, which is the setup. So as you can see on this one, it starts with a bearing here anyway. So I'll place a bearing, paint it, and for my own sanity I'm going to start the block placement chain. Let me go to page 2 real quick. This might take a while, because this build is both simplistic and in some cases a little complicated. I keep having to review because it's been a while since I've made one of these. So, make sure the logic gate's facing up. It needs to be. Yeah, screw it. It doesn't matter what direction it's facing as long as it's placed. So it's logic gate, block of choice, controller. It's going to be a little off placed, so I put this down first so I can get the orientation. Place the controller, remove the other block. And you're going to have to repeat this for all sides. logic block. I'm going to make sure that it faces the opposite axis. Good. Next, block of choice, lather, rinse, and repeat. Then logic block again, this time facing the other axis. Followed by a block of choice, controller. Let me just use this one for orientation again. Remove block. Then logic gate. Repeat step. Block. Controller. Oh, come on. Get up there. Then remove that. If you've done it correctly, it's supposed to look like this. Then you paint up if you so desire. I choose to paint up because I really don't like to mess things up. The reason why we're painting these is to get the magnetic orientation chain. Then, of course, now that you have your setup, you just paint them. This one, I'll paint mechanic orange. So these will stay default color because they're the next in line. Next, I believe this goes to the red line, the most important line of all. This one chooses the direction. And then the green line. The colors will come into play later, I promise. So, now we start. Go to page 2. Well, page 1, sorry. I have all the important stuff on page 1. There's a reason why I'm placing these early. It's because I don't want to mess up the placement. These pipes that I'm placing are your weld points. These are what you're going to use to attach this to your vehicle or flyer, but most recommended for flyers. It'll work nice on vehicles because, well, players tip all the time, and this will keep you from tipping. So now that we've placed those blocks and we have what we need, we elevate, because we're doing the underside first. I'll jump to page 2 and place down the first. I messed that one up. This goes here. But before we do that, I gotta pop this because we need it to weld. It's been a while since I've done this. Sorry about the rather slight mistakes. Alright, so bearing, then pipe bend, Then, weld tool, just to make sure. We don't want those two sections to make contact. At least not yet. So I'm going to pop this. Place the bearing down. Then place the pipe straight. Then weld tool. There we go. Then this side. Gotta make sure that these two sections do not light up. There's a reason. Because the glitch flow will be going through this block, primarily. And this is supposed to be attached to the system, as you can see. These have to be attached. Otherwise you can't adjust. And the gyro won't work. Then next, because the output flow is green, we paint it green. I'm doing this slowly because I don't want to gotta go fast and no one understands what's going on. Then into the green output. Hopefully you're following so far. Alright. Then we gotta repeat the step for the other part. We gotta go orange into orange controller. So first, we put that down because that's where the chain is going to end. Weld tool. Check to make sure. And then we start. I don't want to mess this up at all. Bearing. Pipe bend. Did I really forget the most important part of this whole build? Interactive and Sport 5. You cannot use anything else for this build. Then a bearing. Gotta make sure of that because that takes care of rotation. Then pipe bend. The two ends will weld. Then you double check to make sure everything is connected. Right, it's connected. Nice. So we don't have to worry about this thing falling apart when we take it down. Nice. But just as a safety measure, I know this is a weird thing to do, but good. It's secure. Very nice. Lift it back up again. I do this to make sure it doesn't fall apart when I start up. We've got that done. Now for the other side. I forgot to paint the bearings, didn't I? That's okay. As long as you understand how to build, you can paint the bearings if you want to. So that's the first part of the stabilizer. Bearing. Pipe straight. As usual. Pipe bend. Let me bring it back down again. Can I get away with that? No, apparently I cannot. Let me drop that. Okay, it's elevated now. Pipe straight. Before we place that, we place the sensor just like in the first step. Place the sensor first. Make sure that is facing the opposite one. Then bearing. Then pipe bend. Then check your weldings. Good. Those two are not connected to it. Very important step. Then we just have to repeat the windings for the next side. Pipe bend. Bearing. Okay, very nice. Cool. Didn't mess up yet. Bearing. Pipe bend. This makes the building rather awkward. Yes, I could have done this on the ground floor, but I'm trying to avoid being spotted by the bots. Place. Now it's all wound up. Check your weldings. Gotta make sure. Right. That looks okay. So we're finished with the bottom. And now that we are, we don't have to come back to this step anymore. We just have to repeat this on the top now. Alright. So on the top, we can freely start there. Pipe straight. Pipe bend. Sensor. Place that. Then bearing. Place that on top. Pipe bend. Then pipe straight. Check your weldings. Can't stress this enough. Then, of course, we go to winding number 2. Pipe bend. I think I've said this step before, but I have to stress it. Bearing. Wait for it. Good, no bots. Then bearing, pipe bend, suspension, pipe bend, which will trigger the lock, and that part's ready. Then we go to the next side. And we have to do that opposite. Alright. Bearing. Straight. Pipe bend. Come on. I really gotta buy a new keyboard. Then bearing on top, pipe bend, straight, check weldings, and that winding is done. Next we go around to the other side and repeat steps 1 through 3. Just like before. Pipe bend, bearing, skip that part, go over to the other end, bearing, pipe bend, suspension, pipe bend, and that winding is now done. So if all has been wound up correctly, it should look like this. And just to make sure I don't goof up, I'm going to paint up. So that's red output. Yeah, I cannot really see very well in this darkness, so I'm missing buttons like crazy. The reason why I do this is showing the flow in which the connections are going to be going. This will be going into red controller. Well, this is going to be going into red logic into red controller, and so on for the rest of it. Alright? So, that's green. Yeah, I cannot see the buttons very well. It's dark. Did I really paint that right? That's the green side. But that's green into blue. Null that. Yes. Green. Green goes backwards into red. Of course, we already have the output set. Just to make sure, let me make sure to paint that up. God. I don't want this to take forever, and you guys don't want to sit through this forever. Oops, wrong color. I am making a ton of mistakes right now, but at least you guys can still follow because I'm making sure to call out my mistakes. That is mechanic orange, so windings, this stays as its neutral color. That stays as its neutral color. Making sure. Flow into that. Blue. Output flow goes here into blue. Green output into green, red output into red. Mechanic orange into mechanic orange, and so on. So now they're all painted up, sorta. make sure. Good. Blue goes into green. Now for the other steps. The gyroscope itself. Get up there. Okay. From here it's only pipes. Like I said, I'm in the dark, so this is going to cause me to make a few mistakes, but luckily I'm watching them. Bearing. Bearing. T-piece. T-piece. Pipe bend. Pipe bend. Other side. Pipe bend. Pipe bend. T-piece. Alright, let me shift Q, which goes backwards. Then another T-piece. Then welding check. Right, now they're connected. Bearing. And bearing. Double check all windings. Good. Free floating. Connected. Connected. Nice. Cool. Now for the fun part. Since we're done with the main chassis, do not take that off just yet. We gotta make the glitches. I think by now you guys know how to make the micro stabilizers. But for this, I'm going to repeat the process. After all, it wouldn't be a tutorial without showing everything. Oh boy, the dog's hungry. Now I can take this off. Because it won't really move unless you do something. It's not connected, it's not wired, so it's pretty much dormant. Anyway, lift. I keep pressing 1 when I'm supposed to be pressing F1. Then, block of my choice. One second, folks. Sorry about that. Alright. So, block of choice. I think you've seen this before in other people's tutorials. For making the stabilizer. So I put a block here, take block of choice, drag it through, then weld it. Then I just pop here and here. That can stay there for now. Repeat, make another one. then weld it again. Now I hope you guys are noticing that I'm doing this in survival mode. I have my HP and everything. This was built in survival, so it has to be rebuilt in survival. Alright. Let me make sure I did the welding. Good, I did the welding. So I just pop this one and that one. So now we have our two. I should hope we don't need this anymore. There we go. Next comes the easy part. Making this. Pick one up. Next we put a bearing, a block, bearing, a block, and a piece to indicate direction. Next we take it off the lift. And then we knock it around a bit. Just a little bit. Nope, still not yet. Nope, still not right. Wow, this takes a while. That'll kinda do, but not quite. I can't place the block with it in an awkward position. There we go. Now we've got it. Next, we grab it with the weld tool. Turn it around. Make sure it's facing the opposite direction of the pipe. And if I've done this correctly, when I pick this up, they should be fused. Then we go back to the weld tool, drag from this way back to this way. This will weld the two together. Then you remove the unwanted blocks. And then we cap it. Make sure it's on the lift when you cap it, otherwise it won't work. But thanks to Axolot taking away the green indicator, we can't really see. So now it is done. Then we do the whack test to make sure we've done it right. Okay. Then weld tool again. And here's the easy part. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's upside down. That's much better. Then we just jump up here and place it. And that finishes the external part of the build. Then we put this back on a lift and start with the wiring. If I've done everything correctly, wiring should be a breeze. Alright, so from here you're just using the wiring tool. We gotta copy this whole spider web. So this would be blue 1, to bearing 1. Should automatically go into its first position. Blue 2 should be facing anti-clockwise. I gotta make sure. Alright, blue 2 anti-clockwise, and blue 3 faces clockwise. Right, already correct. Moving on. I'm hoping that they can't see that, because I really don't care about Fortnite. Alright. Now we're on the yellow side. Repeating steps 1 through 3, I guess. This goes upside down, I think. Alright, so yellow 1 is underneath. Yellow 1 to winding 1. That should be anti-clockwise. Yellow 2 has to go anti-clockwise. And yellow 3 has to be clockwise. There we go. That takes care of blue and yellow. Next is red. Red 1, clockwise. Wait. Cancel that. I need to see where it goes. This is important. Red 1, clockwise. Red 2, anti-clockwise. Oh, god damn it. Look, I can take you off the lift for now, so I can do less jumping around. Okay. Red 2 goes anti-clockwise, and red 3 goes clockwise. Oops. Where did I connect that? Oh. Take that off. Transfer it to where it's supposed to go. There we go. Next, green. I'll just read to make sure. So it's anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise. Still have to watch the wiring. Alright, anti-clockwise. The next one is also anti-clockwise. And the last one is clockwise. I'll just look at it again to make sure. Clockwise, good. Now that we have that done, it's time for tuning. Put this on a lift, give me a sec. Be gone, Fortnite. Stupid Fortnite notifications. I don't give a damn about that game. Now we have to set the windings. Each of them have to be set the same way each time. These are the same for all windings. Double check. Good. Repeat for all of them. Fast. Six. 10. Double check just to make sure it saved it. Good. Next. And set to fast. No loop. Saved. And the last one. Now, if I've done this all correctly, it should work immediately after I take it off the lift. I put it on 10 because you want a little bit extra kick. And that should be it. Now we demonstrate. Now, I hope I did everything right. Right, nothing fell apart. Alright, let's go. Oh yeah, we didn't mimic that last part of the block. See, on this end, there's supposed to be a block here. That block indicates where you're going to put your second one of those. If you choose to. If you want it to be loose and do its job, that's up to you. I will now demonstrate how this thing works. Let's say you lift it. Now, watch what happens when it tilts. Oh wait, did I not turn the sensors on? Okay, yeah, I made a mistake. My bad. I forgot to connect the freaking sensors. Doi. Alright. That was the last part of the wiring that I forgot to do. So it's, as I mentioned earlier about the sensor flow, blue goes into blue logic gate, then blue logic gate into blue controller. Repeat for all sides. Green logic gate will receive signal from green then green logic gate into green controller. I've got cats fighting in the background, so pay it no mind. Red into red, then red logic gate into red controller. Final one. Orange into orange logic gate, and last one goes there. If I've done that correctly, it should work as intended. So we take it off the lift and do another demonstration. Now I lift it up again. See? And now it works. It will continuously try to correct. This is why I set it to 10. So it will continuously correct as your vehicle changes. Now, another fun thing you could probably do is, if you have thrusters set to correct a certain axis, you wire them into the logic gate itself. And that will act as your correction thrusters, while the others control stabilization. Well, that concludes the Let's Build. You can try building this in your world for yourself. It is survival friendly and will function in survival. In creative it's more effective. As a matter of fact, it's stronger. So I thank you all for watching and hope to see you make use of this. I guess I have 2 now. Thank you all for watching. Likes, favorites, subscribes, all that good stuff helps me, helps the channel, and helps me finally get monetized so that good stuff happens. Until next time, mechanics, take care.